Beautiful day, my brothers and sisters. Beautiful day. Just how are you doing? Beautiful days, my brothers and sisters. To another video. Beautiful days, my brothers and sisters. To our Father's presence. Beautiful days. Welcome here to what we do every single moment. Yeah. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another video. All right, and today, like always, we are always here for edifying of our spirit and our knowledge and wisdom. And why are we doing this? Well, because the world is not getting any better. All right, and because the world is not getting any better, and things are getting worse, we have to be very vigilant and very cautious. Now, like I always do, I do give you guys relevance, of some type of correlation of my experiences that happens over time. I will say that I was on a live recently, and quote unquote, mind you, we don't use the word God here. We use the word creator, or we say our Elohim, or our Adonai, or our El Shaddai, right? Now, there was somebody that was saying that they consider themselves God creator. Now, they say that their God, the gods that they make consist of belief. So it's either if we believe in them, that's what the characteristics of these word God is. So I asked this person, so this God does not exist and it doesn't have any power over me if I don't believe in it, right? Because if I give it power by giving it characteristics, that means it has power over me, right? So if I don't want it to exist, it doesn't have to exist. But yet, also, I asked them who made the God creator. This person said that they didn't make themselves and nobody created them. But yet they say that they still bleed and try to correlate that with Christ, with Yahushua. But then they said that they made our Elohim, which is blasphemy. But yet they bleed though. But yet they bleed. So my thing is this, right? How can you create millions of the word so-called gods? There's 12 billions of people. Let's rationalize this a bit. So if there is, mind you, to us, we know that those are called demons and devils, right? But let's rationalize this. If there is 12 billion people on the earth and there are millions of these so-called devils, or these devils that that he or she considered gods, right? And I ask you, out of a proportion, out of all of these creations, right? Is there not a possibility of them causing some of the chaos that is occurring in this world right now? And you control all of them. But yet you have the audacity to tell me that there's not even a 1% chance of a possibility for that to be, to be real. And what did they say? No, they're still going denial. But yet they ask me what is an electron and what is made of. Well, I think they said I think no, I don't think they say electrons. I think they said neutrons. I think he or she said neutrons. I believe that's what the word was. Father, forgive me if I'm wrong. It was neutrons. Yeah. Yeah, it was neutrons. So you're asking me, right? A person, what are neutrons made of? Neutrons. Are neutrons not necessarily considered negative? Right? Because they're for sure not positive. They can have positives, but they're considered negatives. So if I say proteins, what are the structures, particles of neutrons, and I say proteins, what are the charges that are always associated with amino acids? Is it not negative charges? All of it are in the negatives, majority, if not all. They have partial positive charges, but they all have what? Negative charges. Proteins. I use my terms, and they just they left away the topic, which was I used the term. I used the reference of the law of singularity, right, to say that everything is one and the same, and telling me that all things come from one point and everything is all in one and the same. There's no correlation. That's crazy to say that that's not the same. So we got off from that to what is a neutron? What is the structure? Because at first it was just what is a neutron. But then I had to ask, in what way are you asking what is a neutron? Because that was not a clear statement. And when people get upset and they just, run away from the topic, they start to insult you. This is what wolves in sheep's clothing do. That's what they do. Yahuwah forgive her for the things that she does, being the reason why she's still alive, because there's a possibility of a chance that she can come back. But making statements like that is crazy. They're gonna try to speak bad of your name. They're gonna say that, oh, this is not you. But yet, if we look at what are leptins, right? Or amino acids, all of them are in the negatives. They are in the R group. Let's look at muons, teos, right? All of these charges are negatively charged, right? Especially when it comes to electrons, right? All of these things, particles that are made up of what? Negative charges, neutrons. So what do you think neutrons are? Because we obviously going to understand P is for positive, N is for negative. Like, oh my goodness, ooh, 101. Like, oh, this makes sense. This doesn't make no sense. I have my terms on what I use for science, maybe because I have to stop talking in my slang, right? But it's just like, hey, you asked me a question, but you couldn't answer my question. I'm gonna give you a very simple answer. Mm, it's kind of awkward, is it not? You're running away. You're running away. Then you say that I sound like I'm young. You're right, man. I'm not in my 30s or 40s. I'm a young one that's questioning you on your morality. So that means what? Your morals ain't right. It's like, if you say that, let me ask you guys this, right? Well, not ask you, but let me run this idea across you guys' mind. It's like, if I make a comic book, right, and I make a character. If I say that the character exists only if you perceive the character to exist, right? That means that if the character does not, if I don't think the character exists, the character will not exist and it won't have any power. It won't be anywhere relevant. But then if we have the law of singularity and you say that something comes from one point, you just stated the obvious. Everything comes from something because things cannot just create itself. It just can't. Because there are a lot of people that want to talk about dark matter, right? A black hole, but yet they don't even know how to. They can say that, oh, it comes from one point. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But if I ask people to demonstrate exactly these things, they will not physically be able to put things together to demonstrate it. They're just gonna read it off the definition that they see, and it's one thing reading something off a book, and it's another thing being able to demonstrate exactly what you're reading. There's two differences. When you read something off a book, you're just memorizing words and definition. But when you are actually able to digest the information, that means you understand what you're reading very well, so much that you can create your own terms that still make sense. And that's actually partially my fault because I should have known that she doesn't know everything that I know. But she was right though. When she used the word protein and amino acid, because I asked her what it means, or I asked her what other way could that basically be, or it can have an effect. What is it? Is it like I should have asked her? Is it positive? Is it a negative charge? But I didn't. So she does that part that would be on my fault partially. But it's just like, man, it's just crazy because they try to avoid science, but then try to be fictional, and not only trying to be fictional, illogical. But then everything that comes out of their mouth literally state exactly what they're trying to contradict. It's crazy to me. But this is not what I came here to do, to disrespect people or anything, because it might have came off a little bit disrespectful, slightly, but of course I'm not worried about it because my intentions are not for harm. It's not ill. It's not an ill mindset that I have. I'm not trying to be misingenuous. Ingenuous. I think that's how you say it. Ingenuous towards people. So I'm gonna be very, very straightforward on that. But the topic for today is stay strong to your mission to the end. And I stay strong. And we come to find out that when I go back to going back to check my notes and checking exactly what I know, come to find out that my statements are not wrong because I'm over here like, am I like tripping? But then senses come together and it's like, okay, no, I guess I'm probably the only person that says this, and not everybody use the same terminology. All structures literally have to be held together. If it was not for negative charges, things would not be one. Things would not orchestrate in the sense of being, one. This plastic would not be plastic but just a whole bunch of air and nothing. Let alone if there weren't positive charges, it would have been the same thing. I wouldn't have the ability to grab this water bottle because there would be no field magnetic force that would allow these things to be in the sense of what the construct is of exactly what the law for being able to grab, being able to see, being able to walk, to convert all of these energies into being exactly what it should be. But yet, let's get back to the word because you have to stand strong. Always. Now, what does the word say? Then obviously this is a translation because I did not write this word for word. Did I at least write the verse down, the number of the verse? Yes, I believe it's just for one of them. But let's just read it anyways, okay? And the word says, now the last feast for all the disciples in Christ, the Passover, was approaching, and the chief priests and scribes plotted to unalive Christ, but they feared many. Verse 3, right? But of course, Satan's used Judas of Iscariot, one of the disciples, to lend a hand to the enemies on the behalf of Christ in return for compensation. And it's always the people that are close to you. If it's not people that are close to you, it's people that believe in the same that you do that is going to be asking you or trying to criticize you or trying to put you down. That's the reason why you always have to be very genuine to everything that you do, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be negative towards one person and be kind to everybody, you're discriminating. Because at the end of the day, you're alive. For even your enemies, those influences that have fallen from the heavens, they are still alive. They were shown mercy. That's why they were given time until their time comes. So how much so you to another person? You don't think you have that type of patience to be kind, to be able to conversate, to be able to love, to be able to share kindness to one another? Because at the end of the day, they can disappear from the entire existence of all fabrics. Doesn't matter what dimension, plane, realm that they exist in. They can legit disappear. And there will be no ascension after that. It will be nothing. They will go back to where they came from the source itself. So how much so you? That our Father shows love even to our enemies. He make it rain on those that are what? Just and the unjust. I have no reasons to have an enemy. My enemies are not even my enemies. They just living beings that just do stupid things. Knowing that they cannot defeat me. They can't wage war against me. And if they do, they're not going to win, even if it means that I am to lose or give up my spirit. War is war at the end of the day. That's what we're in. We are in war. That means you have to be consistently aware every single day, right? Like you can rest, you can close your eyes, you can sleep, but that means you have to be consistently aware of everything. Because if you go to sleep one moment, what do you think is going to happen? The world is going to keep moving. Everybody is so spiritually dead that the majority of people don't even know the wrong that they do. So, like I said, it is always the people that are close to you that your enemies use to attack you. They don't use strangers. They don't see the strongest form of magic is magic that is blood related, meaning the thicker the blood, the easier it is to reach that person. The thinner the blood, the worst that blood can reach the person. The only other option is if that person accepts your attack. That's it. There are laws to the spiritual realm. My enemies knows that I know this. That's why they're very cautious on how they operate. Because they know that I'm not just going to be like, hey, I see an arrow. Although that I care about my people, I see an arrow. I'm not going to just let myself get shot. But if I see my people being harmed, I will go and help them. My creator did not give me a heart or a spirit of fear. I am a conqueror above all of these things that goes on in my life. I am a conqueror. I did not come in this world to be conquered. I might be, a melanated young man. I might talk like this, maybe like this. however so that I speak, however be that I am. Macbeth. Let me stop. But no, it doesn't change the fact that I was given authority. That is my birthright. Being of my predecessors, that is my birthright. For a lot of people that just read the Bible, they don't know that your birthright means that you have the ability to speak. That's why when it comes to doing or saying wrong, I don't. I can laugh at people, but that don't mean that I should. I can I am able I can yeah, I can speak bad about people in a sense of talking rubbish. That don't mean that I should. If I talk life to someone and that life helps the person, imagine me talking negative about a person. You think it's not going to happen? I didn't create somebody's life. Elohim did. So why would it be my responsibility to destroy it? The animals of this earth, he gave it to us for us to be able to do as we choose. Pertaining the sustainability of us living and existing and keeping the ecosystem as it's supposed to be, as it should be. Let me say it like that. As it should be. That it should be leveled and what? Tranquil. It should be peaceful. The animals do what they do, and us, mankind, we do what we do. And let's not forget, the animals are still considered insects as well. Just like protein is digested, is taken away from something. Isn't that not negative? Unfortunately, we have to start understanding these things. But let's continue because this is running on 22 minutes, and I personally do not want to hold you guys on these videos for an hour long. Long. All right, let me continue. All right. Then the next verse says, the next summary says, then it came to be for Judas, for he spilled all the tea. He spilled all the tea for a couple of change. He betrayed his mans for a couple of change. He betrayed his mans for a couple of change. Can you imagine you betray your own family member for money? You know how shameful that is? You betray your family member for money, for fame, for influence. That is very shameful. It really is. There are a lot of people out here that do a lot of crazy stuff. And I'm not here to shame anybody because you're still alive. Not and mind you, people think that just because you threw a rock at me that I'm gonna get on my knees and pray, stand up, pray, sleep, pray, lay, pray, consecrate, anything against you. No, I'm gonna pray for you because obviously whatever that you did didn't hurt me. You're alive. I'm gonna pray that you stay alive. I'm going to pray for your judgment. Yes, I'm going to pray for your judgment, but I'm going to pray that you're still alive, that you get judged, meaning the lessons that you ought to learn will be your judgment, meaning you will get punished, but not in a sense of death. That you learn your mistakes, that you do better, that you be a better person lovingly from the heart, truthfully from the spirit and from the mind. That you are delivered from the hands of your captivators, from your enslaved, from your is that I say I don't think I said I'm going to say the word properly, but do forgive me. I'm going to use another word. From those that hold you captive, because I say captivators, still the same thing. I'm going to pray for you because at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. I know what it is to feel left behind. I know what it is to be broke. I know what it is to have friends that don't care about you, that talk about you. I know what it is when people don't like you. I know what it is to be lonely. I know what it is to be hated. I know what it is to be feared. I know what it is to be loved. I know what it is to have jealousy. I know what it is to sin. So what reason do I have to pray against you? To even think negative about you? Or anyone that comes around me? At the end of the day, I've been just like you, and I'm not better than you. I'm better than myself because it's not you that I fight. I fight myself. I fight the flesh in this vessel that I'm given because that's the only way my enemies, right? That's like I said, those influence. It's through the flesh. They don't influence my spirit because I know who I am and I know where I come from. They can do all of this magic, this and that, and the third. Temptation only works for people that are weak. Literally. My Father strengthens me every single day. He knows my right. He knows my wrong. He knows all that I ought to do before I do it. And I still do it anyways. And if I have any chances of doing good, any probability of me doing what I could that is good, I do it anyways. Even if I'm tired, I still do it. We forgot that we're not supposed to do things just for ourselves. We're supposed to do it for our Father. So everything that we do every single day is supposed to give Him the glory. That means eating. That means breathing, conversations. That means working, thinking, feeling, sleeping for His glory. Because at the end of the day, you didn't have to be alive today, but He gave you that opportunity. Just a simple thing, just to breathe air. Not everybody wake up every single day. Be grateful. For a lot of people talk as if they know me, but they don't really know me. Be grateful. Because the word curse can only affect those that allow it to happen to them. I'm not better than nobody, but I'm not going to be a subject to anybody's control. I know where I belong. You know what I mean, my brothers and sisters? But let's continue though, because it's definitely running on that timer. That timer is getting closer and closer. All right. What does it say? It says the hour was approaching for the Passover and the communion as Christ mentioned his love for all and shared his final moments and revealed that he will be betrayed by one amongst them. Now, they all questioned themselves, but Christ told them not to worry, for it was so, and that the laws of the rulers of the land must be exercised, for they have authority. So remember to serve before being served, for I will be with you always, favoring you for those that prolonged and endured with me, for you will be rewarded by our Elohim. And what do you think he means when it says that the laws of the land, those of the laws of the land have the rulers of the land, my apologies, must be exercised, for they have authority. Why do you think he says that? Being compliant, right, to situations makes things a bit much easier, right, than to deny and destroy, because then now you become a target. But then if you are given the option to live, right, live. But there are conditions to that living, to that life. Everything. See, when I used to speak about money, right? I used to say that money is bad. Yes, money is bad. It does. I would never change that. But money can be used for good. But the problem is people don't use money for good, especially now in this type of era. Because everybody that has money, right? Majority of the people that has money and those that have a lot of money, they don't really do good. They really don't. And I watch them. You know who you are if you watch this video. And I'm not here to go against you or to put you in the open or to disrespect you or to put you down. But you know who you are. I can't be a part of a society where, let's just say I'm giving $50 million every year and I can only spend like $1 million and I can't give anybody no more than 100,000 to $500,000. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. It don't even make any sense. Then the rest goes to charity. All of this goes to that and things that are not even related. At that point, you're a slave. You are getting pimped. That's what that means. You are getting pimped and you are a slave that's getting pimped. I don't like that. Not for me or for anybody. I don't care who it is, however many that it is. I do not like that. And this is what I'll be saying when I say when I make statements like I have my own lingo, right? And for some reason, I keep forgetting that everybody that I talk to is not the same. That includes what goes also in my head. Not everybody is gonna understand. So it does make sense that when I talk, I tend to kind of leave out certain things that the average person would not be able to catch on. Because it's very easy for me to understand what somebody is saying rather than me just going off of what I already know. That's why I have the ability to draw, right? To sculpt, to paint. Because anything that's in my mind can be put on paper and can be calculated. It's very simple, right? But unfortunately, in this society, let me just say that everybody requires money for even to help people. People want to get paid to help people. Yeah, that part. To help people. People want to get paid to help people. I don't know. I just don't know. I have so much love for everybody, but it's just this world. I have hope for a lot of people. I see potential in what people are capable of doing, and I know the potential that people are able to do. But it's like sometimes I just look at people and I'm just like, man, why? Just why? Why would you lower yourself to that level? Now you can't escape. You can, but it will come at a hefty cost. And those type of attacks will not be. It will be a grudge held against you. You will be attacked in such a way that you personally will. It would be personal. For those that gave themselves up, yeah, those type of things are gonna be hard on you. But you still have the ability to let it go. Just let it go. It's very easy to just give yourself if you know about the spiritual realm. Mind you, love is everywhere. Our Father's love is everywhere. It is everywhere. If you accept his love, trust and believe, the let's just say there are 20 gates that stops you from being able to be free. Like 15 of them are going to be they're going to be open. You have to start looking for the key yourself, and you're going to be navigated to find the key by our Father's love. And he will help you and guide you and protect you. Although you might suffer, I take the trials any day. I take the trials any day. I'll take the trials any day. I'll take it any day. These tribulations any day. Than me just giving up myself, knowing my past, knowing everything that I left behind. All of this extra street stuff ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Smoking is not worth it. Being out here being sexual is not worth it. Drinking is not worth it. Stealing is not worth it. Lying is not worth it. Committing type of criminal activities is not worth it. Plotting against people is not worth it. And for sure, selling your soul is not worth it. I'm not saying that I sold my soul, but and anytime you do anything bad, that's basically you selling your soul because you're accepting the terms and conditions of something that is not, Christ-like. Remember, Christ is our greatest of examples on this earth. So it's very important that we always know about love. Always. It doesn't matter what contract that your ancestors did that brought a lot of curses into your lineage or your bloodline. When it comes to you, all of it finito. Not only do you own exactly what that was supposed to be given to you, the price that was supposed to come to you at a cost is no longer available to you. So you got what was given to them that was supposed to come to you for free at no cost. And they cannot deny it. They cannot refuse it. They can't. They just can't. And it's very important that we all understand that, because a lot of times we go through things in this world that we do not understand. We dream about things that we can't even begin to describe, let alone understand and know exactly what it means. And I get these type of dreams. I get these type of numbers. Oh snap. All right. Um I just got something here, but thank you, my friends and family, brothers and sisters, for another video. I appreciate you all for being with me. And I pray that your day goes better than mine's, and that our Father's influence be of our life, be of your breath, your mind, your eyes, your mouth, of all words that you say, your ears of all things that you hear, your heart of all that you are, and also your spirit, being of your vessel as well. Enjoy. Take care.